Welcome to the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm your host, Ed Smith. Today we're going to take a look at the Franchise Quarterback Dynasty IDP 12 team league. And this is an IDP league. It actually has 22 starters, and we're going to dive into the defensive starters first. Three defensive linemen, three linebackers, three defensive backs, and then two IDP flexes. And the reason we're going to dive into the defense first is I'm still really getting an understanding of IDP, and so I'll be the first to admit that I treat IDP like middle relievers in baseball. I think they change every year. I think it's the weak side linebacker of bad teams that is the starter that score the most tackle points, and so defenses change every year, year to year, of who's good, and then those starters on the weak side, I feel like they change every year as well. So best I can tell, it's kind of like the holds category in baseball, where it just is a revolving door, and so I really push them to the very end of the draft, and so I really don't have a lot, and it might just be ignorance. I might just not know what I'm doing, and I admit that. I have gotten better at the IDP leagues, however. So I was impressed that the first year I just got killed, and only one team I made the playoffs. And this year, out of 12 IDP leagues, I was in the playoffs in quite a few of them, and almost I think I came in second in one and came in third in another. So really was hitting it hard and having teams that were competing for titles, and so really started to believe that maybe I was getting better or was on to something. So, not sure. I'm love to hear your comments in the comments section. And so, the defensive line position, and some of these guys actually can be linebackers as well. So you can move them there. But we have Anyamata, Barnes, Joseph, Reed, Pay, Judon, and Ford. And then at linebacker, Burns, Barnes, Bocce, and then at the defensive back, Woods, Curse, Neal, Douglas, Johnson, and Okuda. And at this point, really looking at the team, it's just kind of guys that were scoring points, and that's sort of what we looked at this point. Looking at the offensive side of the ball with 11 starters, we have one quarterback but two super flexes, so three quarterbacks starting here. Two running backs, three receivers, two tight ends, one flex, which gets us to those 22 starters, 11 on the offensive side, 11 on the defensive side. 25 bench spots, 8 taxi and 5 IR, so we really are at 47, 55, and almost up to 60 players that we have on the roster that we can protect. So a good amount of players there, and so I do value the quarterback in this kind of format, 12 team, 3 quarterback league, at a high level. And so here we have Lamar, Baker, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, Lance, and then we have some lesser than guys with Book and Huntley and Mariota and Brandon Allen and Rosen. And so, but if we look at the 5 starters that we have Lance, Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Mayfield, and Lamar, and all young, yet really excited about that quarterback room. Feel like it's a quarterback room that really has a chance to win this year once we get going with those young quarterbacks. And what we have, other people don't. So we'll be able to start 3 every week, where there's going to be many people that can't do that. And then we start looking at the running back room. We have Saquon Barkley, we have Carter, we have Connor, Gallman, Gaskin, Royce Freeman, Sermon, Eno, Jarrett Patterson, Khalil Herbert, and Sargent. You guys that know me know that we kind of have those guys at the end there in every team, and really like that. When I look at the receiver room, I think of that as pretty stout as well. And there we have Debo, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Slayton, Chark, Cole, Cephas, Mike Williams, Myers, and OBJ. So there we feel pretty solid as well. And then looking at the tight end room, starting 2 tight ends with a 2.5 point premium. So this is a piece that we really feel like we need to have here too. And that's there we have Troutman, Knox, Dan Arnold, Granson, and Jacob Harris. So we have some young pieces here. I mean, there's 5 tight ends there. I'm pretty happy with that room as well. And so I really feel like this team is ready to go. As you heard there were some guys that were injured last year, and that really pushed us back a little bit. But this is a team that we really think that we can go win with, and excited for where we go. We actually have the 101 in this team, so that's a pick that we can really do some things with. And so we have number 1, and then we have number 13, 25, 37, 49, 61, 73. So just the full slate right down the top spot, down the whole way down the board to the 701 spot. And so we get to pick at that best spot. And we may look to move down. I don't know. This team feels like it's not really one piece away. It feels like we just keep adding depth and keep playing keep away. And quite possibly the defense is a little bit light here, but we'll really go take a run at it with these guys, and with healthy guys, with Lance starting all year. I really think with Lamar and Lance, we really have a good shot to really win with this team and go get a title. So excited for where we are. We look ahead to next year. We have just the full slate of draft picks. Looking back at the draft, I mean, just kind of in the past, we were able to get Lance out of the 4 spot, and Chase out of the 7 spot, and Mac Jones out of the 10 spot last year. So those were kind of our first round picks, and then we got Michael Carter in the 2nd round with Trey Sermon. So that's kind of what we were picking last year, in those spots, and to try to fill up the board, if you will. So now excited for this year to really get after it and have a successful year. So really welcome your comments in the comments section, and hitting that like button if you would, and subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. That's what keeps me going. But until next time, until tomorrow, until we look at that new team, so long for now. I'm Ed Smith with the Fantasy Football Clown Show.